I picked up her phone. One message caught my eye. "I love you," from someone named My Real Husband. That's when I realized I wasn't the only man in her life. I know it's wrong to go through someone's phone. I really do. It's one of those relationship lines you're not supposed to cross, the kind of thing people judge you for. And believe me, I never thought I'd be the guy who did it. Until I had no other choice. Lauren and I had been married for 4 years, met in college, dated through grad school, moved in together right after graduation. Our love story wasn't some fairy tale. It was built slowly, through chaos, debt, job switches, broken cars, shared Amazon passwords, and midnight frozen pizzas. It was real. She was always the more sociable one, the kind who had 100 group chats, a million Instagram notifications, and people constantly texting her about everything: work, brunch, astrology memes. I used to love that about her. But a few months ago, I noticed something change, something subtle. She started putting her phone face down. Not occasionally, always. At restaurants, on the nightstand, even in the bathroom. Her laugh when she texted it used to be carefree. But lately, it came with a little pause, a quick glance in my direction. And her passwords? She changed them. "Just updating my security," she said. "It training at work." Maybe. Sure. But something felt off. She also started getting more work calls in the evenings. Random video chats she'd take in the bedroom with the door closed. She said it was her manager, some new campaign they were rushing. But when I'd walk by, she'd lower her voice or end the call abruptly. Again, I said nothing. I didn't want to be the insecure husband, the paranoid stereotype. I loved her. I trusted her. Or I wanted to. But trust is a strange thing. It erodes slowly. Not all at once. Like water dripping onto stone. One night, Lauren fell asleep early on the couch. Her phone buzzed on the coffee table not once, not twice, but 5 times in less than a minute. My eyes flicked to the screen. The first message preview said, "Can't stop thinking about last night." Then, "You feel like home." And finally, "Love you." The sender? My real husband, Niter. I swear to God I stopped breathing. It was like someone punched me in the chest. Not babe, not sweetheart, not even a real name. Just that. My real husband. The kind of label that doesn't just imply an affair, it implies a second life. I sat there, shaking, heart pounding, brain screaming. And I unlocked the phone. Because whatever line I crossed, she'd already crossed worse. I opened the chat. At first, I expected the worst: explicit photos, dirty talk, maybe even hotel receipts, or hidden plans to run away together. But what I found was far more unsettling. Because this wasn't just cheating. This was a relationship. The chat went back months, hundreds of messages, all under that same contact name, My Real Husband They Knew. And every single one read like it was between two people deeply in love, or at least pretending to be. There were messages like, "I hate having to pretend around him. You're the only one who gets me. I look at you, and I see my future. Not this fake life I'm stuck in. And worse, when are we finally going to tell him? I'm tired of lying every day. He doesn't deserve this. But I can't keep living this double life. He doesn't deserve this." She was talking about me, like I was some kind of tragic obstacle, not a human being who loved her, lived with her, trusted her. There were no names used, no identifying details in the messages, no photos of the man, no voice notes. Just that nickname, My Real Husband, and message after message of planning, whispering, hiding. I scrolled endlessly, dozens of conversations, some romantic, some sexual, some almost mundane, planning weekends, sharing Spotify playlists, talking about stupid inside jokes I'd never heard before. And it hit me. She had another life. Not just a fling, not a one-night stand. A full emotional commitment with someone else. And the scariest part? There was zero mention of his name. He was like a ghost. A hidden identity. But he knew everything about me. What time I left for work. What nights I cooked dinner. when we were fighting, when I was sick. They even joked about it. He's asleep on the couch again. You'd never make me feel that invisible. My throat went dry. My head pounded. I didn't know what to feel. Anger? Shock? Sadness? All of them, but mostly this. I wasn't just being cheated on. I was being replaced. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on the living room floor with her phone in my hand, scrolling, rereading, screenshotting everything. I needed proof. Not for her, for me, because my brain kept short-circuiting. One moment I was filled with rage. The next I was bargaining with myself, thinking, maybe it's a stupid nickname for a joke friend. Maybe she's writing a screenplay. Maybe this number, I wasn't crazy. This was real. The next day, I played it cool. I acted normal, made coffee, kissed her goodbye, watched her drive off like everything was fine. But inside, I was unraveling. The worst part wasn't just that she had someone else. It was the absence of identity. There was no name, no photo, no mention of who this man was. Just a faceless, real husband who somehow knew everything about me, which could mean only one thing. It was someone I knew. That thought hit like a brick. I went back to the messages and started picking them apart, looking for patterns, dates, clues. There was a message from 2 weeks ago. I loved watching you talk during the party. You're always so calm and in control. He looked so clueless. What party? We hadn't gone to any parties. But then I remembered Lauren went to a friend's birthday while I stayed home sick. I checked our shared calendar. Brian's birthday. My best friend. My chest tightened. Another message, dated that same night. I couldn't stop looking at you while he told that stupid story about his coworkers. I wanted to grab your hand. That was me. That was my story. I told it 100 times, and I told it that night over FaceTime when she called me from the party to check in. My hands were shaking now. Was it Brian? I couldn't accept it. But the more I thought about it, the more it added up. He'd been weirdly distant lately, less available, short with me over texts. Lauren always laughed harder at his jokes than mine. Said he just got her. And he knew my schedule inside out. We used to go to the gym together. He knew when I worked late, when I was out of town. The betrayal suddenly felt so much worse. Not just my wife, but my best friend. And still, I wasn't ready to confront her. Not yet. Because I needed to be sure. I needed confirmation. Not guesses. Not hunches. Proof. So I made a plan. I told Lauren I was going out of town for a work seminar. Just one night, nothing big. I booked a hotel 2 cities over to make it believable. Packed a bag, left in the morning. But I never checked in. Instead, I parked 2 blocks from our house and waited. Saturday in my car, phone in hand, heart pounding. At 6:43 p.m., I saw headlights. A familiar car pulled into the driveway. It was Brian's B, my best friend. He got out like he'd done it 100 times. No hesitation, no checking around. He had a key, let himself in. I thought I'd feel rage, like I'd storm in and punch him. But instead, I felt nothing, just cold. I waited 10 minutes. Then I walked up, quietly, opened the door. The house was dark, but I heard voices from upstairs. I didn't scream. I didn't announce myself. I walked up the stairs, slowly, step by step. They didn't hear me. Her door was half closed. I pushed it open. And there they were, on the bed, clothes still on, sitting close, talking, laughing, holding hands. Like a couple that had been doing this for years. Brian turned first. His eyes went wide. He stood up fast. "Dude, Lauren gasped. "What the hell? You said you were in?" I held up my phone. The screen showed the open chat. My real husband, Henio. Silence. Dead silence. Then Lauren broke. "I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't mean for this to happen." Brian looked down, like a dog caught digging through the trash. No excuses, no fight. I just stared at them. 2 people I loved, trusted, who built a story behind my back while pretending nothing was wrong. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "Get out, both of you." The silence after they left was louder than any argument we could have had. The house felt hollow. I walked from room to room like a ghost, expecting to feel something: rage, grief, tears, but instead, there was just a numb heaviness, like my entire body had been packed with wet concrete. I didn't answer Lauren's calls. I didn't read her texts. I blocked Brian completely. He tried once through a mutual friend to say he didn't mean for it to happen, that it just developed over time, that he never crossed a line until recently. Spare me. They crossed every line that mattered. I found Lauren's key on the kitchen counter the next morning. She'd come back while I was asleep, quietly, left it beside the coffee pot. No note, no apology, just silence. We didn't talk for 2 weeks. Then, one afternoon, she showed up at my door. No makeup, hoodie, puffy eyes. "I just want to talk," she said. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just stepped aside, let her in. Not because I wanted closure, but because I needed to see her break, just once, the way I did. She sat at the kitchen table, barely able to look at me. "I never stopped loving you," she said. "But with him, I felt seen. I felt important. And I don't know when I stopped feeling that with you." That part stung more than the cheating, because I understood it. Not agreed with it, but understood. Somewhere in the routine of life, bills, dishes, stress, we'd stopped being us. We became roommates with rings, comfortable, predictable, and she wanted fire again. Still doesn't justify betrayal. She asked if there was any chance if I could ever forgive her, if we could go to therapy. I said no, not because I hate her, but because I don't trust her. And love without trust is just performance. She cried. I didn't. Then she left. For good. It's been 3 months. I moved out of that house, got a small apartment across town. Quiet neighborhood, nothing fancy, but mine. I started running again, got back into cooking, even picked up a secondhand guitar and taught myself 2 songs. Healing is weird. Some days I feel fine. Others, I can't look at a photo of us without feeling that deep, hollow ache in my chest. But I don't hate her. Not anymore. And weirdly enough, I don't hate Brian either. I just don't trust them, and that's enough. I learned something about love through all this. Love is not about passion, or timing, or even chemistry. It's about choosing the same person every single day, even when it's boring. Even when it's hard. And when one person stops choosing, the whole thing cracks. I was faithful. I showed up. I wasn't perfect, but I tried. She stopped choosing me. And in the end, that's all the explanation I need. So to anyone listening, if you ever feel like something's off in your relationship, trust that gut feeling. Even if it leads to the worst truth imaginable, it's still better than living in a lie. And now I'll ask you, if you found a chat in your partner's phone labeled "My Real Husband," would you open it? Would you confront them? Or would you just walk away without a word?